You're scrolling, drifting through the endless static of the algorithm, waiting for the signal to cut through the noise. Consider, if you will, that you just found the frequency. You've just stepped off the timeline of the everyday, into the space where the forgotten history and the hidden truths finally touch down. There's the story you know, and then there's the airspace we're about to enter. Check your coordinates, because you're heading towards the landing point. Today's story, not my shorts. The setting is Long Beach, California, in the early 1950s. To say little Billy was competitive would be an understatement. She was a fury, an athletic tomboy who excelled at softball. But she realized early on that there were no professional leagues for women in baseball. She asked her father, a local firefighter, what sport could she play, where she could actually make a difference. A sport she could play for her whole life. He suggested tennis. Now, in those days, tennis was strictly a country club sport. It belonged to the wealthy. It was a world of pristine white outfits, manicured grass courts, and quiet, polite applause. Billy's family was strictly working class. They didn't belong to the country club, and they certainly didn't have money for expensive sporting equipment. But Billy was determined. She started doing odd jobs around the neighborhood. She ran errands, pulled weeds, and collected every spare penny she could find, dropping them one by one in a glass mason jar. Finally, she saved up exactly $8.29. It was just enough to buy her first tennis racket, and she was good. Her talent eventually earned her a spot in a prestigious junior tournament at the Los Angeles Tennis Club. Billy played her heart out, proving she belonged on the court with the wealthy kids and the private club. At the end of the tournament, the organizers gathered all of the young players together for a group photograph to commemorate the event. Billy lined up, proud of what she had played, but the officials pulled her aside. They told her in no uncertain terms that she would not be allowed in the photograph. The reason? Her attire. Billy's family hadn't been able to afford the traditional crisp pleated tennis skirt that all of the proper girls wore. Instead, she was wearing a simple pair of white shorts her mother had sewn for her at home. Because she wasn't dressed to the strict elite standards of the establishment, she was told to step out of the frame. She stood on the sidelines and watched the cameras flash. It was in this very moment, stung by the exclusion, that she made a quiet promise to herself. She was resolved that she wasn't just going to become the number one player in the world. She was going to change the entire sport so that nobody would ever be made to feel the way she did that day. That little girl in the homemade shorts went on to win 39 Grand Slam titles. She founded the Women's Tennis Association. She threatened to boycott the U.S. Open until the women were paid the exact same prize money as the men, and she won. She even defeated a former men's champion in a nationally televised match watched by 90 million people. The girl they cropped out of the picture ended up forcing the entire world to put women right in the center of the frame. Her given name was Billie Jean Moffitt, but history remembers her as Billie Jean King. And whether you realize it or not, this is The Landing Point. Thank you for watching today, The Landing Point. Our stories come out Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, so you can always catch our latest story. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Roadrunner Real Estate. They're a full-service real estate company that can help you with both your real estate, residential and commercial needs, both buying and selling and leasing for the commercial side. If you haven't done so already, please go out to our YouTube page and subscribe so you can get our latest stories that come out. If you want our latest updates, please go to our Facebook page and follow and like that. And then for those of you that enjoy just listening to stories when you're out on the drive, we do have our podcast too that you can hear the same stories. Thank you for listening to today's story, and we'll catch you next time.